Yes, we are live. I am early. It is Denmark versus England, Euro 2024. Do you know why? It's because I was just watching something from Euro 2020. I totally forgot how England won the penalty at Euro 2020. I think I just kind of blocked it out of... I've blocked a lot, I think, from that tournament out of my mind. It's too painful to go back. Too painful to go back and look back at that. And I just was looking back on it. Raheem Sterling, I totally put out of my mind that Raheem Sterling had just completely dived. I mean, there's no way of dancing around it, is it? I mean, he completely dived. And I just have no recollection of that. I have the recollection of, obviously, Harry Kane taking the penalty and missing and then scoring the rebound. But I had totally forgotten about that. I was like, oh, wow. But yes, we are here. I am early. Usually with these Euro 2024 match views, I'm live like 15 minutes before. But for the England ones, go live a little bit early. I was sitting here. I was ready. I was drinking in the pre-match build-up on BBC. And I thought, you know what? I'll go live. We'll chat about how I'm feeling when it comes to England, how you're feeling about England if you're supporting England. If not, how you feel about this game, how you feel about the Euros. Maybe some Manchester United chatter too. We're about just under 30 minutes away from kickoff. Kickoff's at 5 p.m. BST, British Summer Time. And if England win, they'll be through to the next stage. And England have never, some interesting stats and statistics actually, England have never won their first two games at the Euros. So are we going to be seeing history in the making today? I don't know. We'll see. Some other stats, if you care for them, there have only been 5 goals scored in the last 4 meetings between Denmark, 2 to Denmark, 3 to England. Denmark have won just one of their last 6 group stage games at the UEFA European Championships, beating Russia 4-1 in Euro 2020 to ensure qualification for the round of 16. As I also said, England defeated Serbia in the last outing, 1-0 in the opening match at Euro 2024 for them. But the Three Lions have never won the opening 2 matches at European Championship tournaments. So are we going to see history made today? As it pertains to team news, as it was reported last night, England are unchanged.
Oh, sorry.
No, they are. Yeah. England are unchanged.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Because it worked so well last time. And you know what? I've already started to see the kind of justification process for that. I've already started to see the justification process of, well, you know, England, they won, so it all worked out in the end. I also saw some people go, well, it's not really that big, you know. Manager doesn't change a winning team. Nothing new there. That's fine. And you go, well, wait a minute. I thought before the game against Serbia, it was a case of, well, look, you can get away with Trent in there because, you know, against lesser teams, it'll be fine. Well, against a lesser team, it wasn't really fine, was it? It didn't work. And then Gareth Southgate had to wait till like the 70th minute to make a change. You know, and the left-hand side, don't even get me started. I mean, I just saw an interview of Gareth Southgate before the game saying about, well, you know, yeah, Kieran Trippier's there. I mean, it's not ideal. Obviously, we don't have, you know, a left-footed left-back available. And I went, well, that's on you. You pick the squad. You pick the people that are there. You know, there's if you were not confident about Luke Shaw making it, he's not on the bench today. The expectation is maybe after the group stage he'll be ready. But you did have other people you could have picked. I'm not the biggest Ben Chilwell fan, but you could have. Tariq Mitchell, you could have. You could have brought back up, but you didn't. So then you're not really in the position to moan of, oh, we don't really have a left-footed left-back available at the moment. Well, again, that's your fault. So don't moan about that one. That's on you. Instead, come out and say, well, I should have picked a left-footed left-back, shouldn't I? Oh, that's good. When it comes to Phil Foden off the left-hand side, there was concern, I think is maybe the right word, concern about how that would work. Didn't really work out in the last game, did it? And it took an age. I don't even think he came off in the end, did he? I think he stayed on for the entire 90 minutes, which was baffling. But it's that, again, it's the midfield. I mean, I don't know how many times we need to talk about this, but when it comes to Trent in midfield, it's nothing against Trent. It's not a Liverpool thing or anything like that. It's just a case of, for me, I find it baffling. You're in a major international tournament and you're trying to shoehorn a right back into the side who has played in central midfield very infrequently, let alone at the stage of an major international tournament, and he looked lost in that game against Serbia. He looked lost at points. And if you're a midfielder in that squad, if you are Kobbie Mainoo, if you are Conor Gallagher, if you are Wharton, if you're whoever, you'd be looking at that going, I'm a midfielder. And I this England team, but a right back can. What are we doing? What's the plan there, Gareth? That would be the thing I'd be bringing up. But again, we shall see. In terms of what I expect, in all honesty, I don't expect much. I don't expect much different from the last game. To be honest with you, I don't expect much different. I thought England were quite tedious and painful to watch. They were at the last Euros. That I suppose the only positive you can kind of take from it is one, that you won, and that's the most important thing in the opening matches. But I remember going through the group stages in the last Euros. Again, it was pretty painful to watch. What was it? A pair of 1-0s and a 0-0 in the group stage, I think it was. And we ended up getting to the final. So maybe that's me just trying to smoke a bit of hopium, drink a bit of copium. I don't know. But, yes, my feeling today is that England will still win because they got the better team. But Denmark are better than Serbia. And if England play like they did against Serbia, I think they'll be in a bit of trouble. In all honesty, and again, this isn't being pessimistic or all that kind of stuff, but looking at the history, not winning, never have won the first 2 games in a European Championship, given that team, the setup, the coach, I wouldn't be shocked if this ends up with 1-1 or something like that. 1-1 or a 0-0 or something like that. I genuinely wouldn't be shocked by that. It wouldn't be the end of the world, obviously. England would still be in good position to go through. But I wouldn't be stunned if that ends up happening. But we shall see indeed, as we're about 20 minutes away from kickoff. Be sure to smash the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I see what some of you guys are saying here in the chat. And Blue Dabba Dabba Die says Denmark want justice for the 2020 Euros. MA says, why is KG transferred DR Sports? As I mentioned before, major beef. That's why. Major beef. I've petitioned him to be exiled, banned from the channel. No, he's just doing those for DR. I think he's just doing the England games. I don't think he's doing every game, is he? But I think he's just doing the England games. So big up KG. What else are people saying here? Javid says, good afternoon, Owen Gate Studios. I don't even think this one's got a name, does it? I'm not sure. We've had Penenka Studios. We've had the Asylum. I'm not sure what the Euro 2024 Studios is referring to, actually. If you can think of a good name, let me know in the chat what you think this version for the Euro 2024 tournament should be. Redwan says Trippier and Foden again. Oh my days. Manish says unchanged. It's going to be a chore, isn't it? Well, you know what? It's good. What's good is if you're an England fan, then you're invested in the game. That helps you get through it. What I do sympathise with people for is if they are a neutral watching this game. Because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. I thought, if you were a neutral, if you didn't have any skin in the game, you're from another country or what have you, and you didn't support England or Serbia, that game in a few days ago must have been just god-awful to watch. It really must have. It must have been just like, oh, God, what a chore to watch this game. It's only because obviously I'm an England fan. I was like, oh, okay, it went pretty fast and all that kind of stuff. But if you were not invested in the game, as say I am, or an England fan or a Serbian fan was, you'd be like, oh, what a terrible game. Jay says, imagine having Trent in central midfield. Kobbie may as well go back to United. What I did also find quite curious, and it's always interesting to see different people's vantage points. I saw the Liverpool point of view, which from what I'm assuming here, maybe I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush, but I did see a lot of Liverpool fans getting very defensive of like, oh, why are you picking on Trent? I hope he does really well and shuts all you people up. And I think you have to kind of, at least from my perspective, maybe some people it might be a Liverpool thing, but for me, it's got nothing to do with the club that he plays for. Not at all. He could play for Manchester City, he could play for Arsenal, he could play for Tottenham, he could play for any other club. He could play for Manchester United, and I'd still be going right back in midfield. Like, what? And you've got other midfielders you could be playing them there. Sorry? And then it'd be another thing if in that first game it did work, then you wouldn't be here going, I don't know why they're doing that again. You'd be like, I can see exactly why he's doing that again. But it's the fact that it didn't work. People before the tournament said, I don't think that's going to work. And it's going to change in the future too, because if you play better sides, you won't play him there in midfield. So what's the point? What's the point? Simon says, I'm just going to have a beer and see what happens. Hey, first of all, drink responsibly, and two, enjoy yourself. Jadine says, Højlund to score. Well, of course, actually, I should do the team news for Denmark too, shouldn't I? In goal, they have Kasper Schmeichel. They got back three of Anderson, Christensen, and Vestergaard. It looks like they're going to be playing a back 5/back 3. Their wing-backs are Mahal and Christensen. In midfield, they've got Hjulmand and Højbjerg. In the 10, Christian Eriksen, who, of course, for Manchester United plays a bit deeper, usually has about an 8. But for Denmark, he plays much higher in the pitch in the 10, which some people have wanted to see him play that more often there for Manchester United. He looked pretty dangerous, of course, scored the goal for Denmark in their last game, so he's going to be in the 10. And they've got two up front in Vind and, of course, Rasmus Højlund. So you just know what's going to happen today. If England concede, it's coming from either Eriksen or it's coming from Højlund, isn't it? It just has to. And legitimately, they are the danger men for their team. But there's a lot of Premier League influence, lots of players we are familiar with, whether it's Anderson, Christensen, Vestergaard, Schmeichel, Højbjerg, Eriksen, or Højlund. So there's a big Danish sort of contingent in the Premier League or in the English leagues, or there has been over several years, hasn't it? So we'll be very familiar with lots of these players. And I think it's going to be a really tight game. I don't expect England to roll Denmark over by any stretch of the imagination. I think a bit like the semi-final in Euro 2020, where it was very tight. I expect that to be the same here. And I hope, as always, this is always the thing, I always hope to be proved wrong in this. I am not too proud to be be glad. I've never understood that perspective. You know, when people go into the game very pessimistic and they're almost happy that they were right. I mean, then we're venturing back into all of the Ten Hag stuff again, aren't we? I was right, you were wrong, see, F you. I'd much rather be the opposite, God, I thought this was going to happen and it didn't. I'm so happy that I was wrong in that regard. But I just don't know if I see it. I don't know. But gotta get more positive. And Blue Dabba says, I'm on my way to the pub to watch the game. Enjoy. Red One also said, Vestergaard must be targeted. He's extremely slow. He's even slower than Maguire. Of course, when it does come to options off the bench for England, there are plenty, whether it is the likes of Conor Gallagher, of course, did come on in the last game, Ivan Toney, Anthony Gordon, Ollie Watkins, Jarrod Bowen did come on, and he was the first substitution in the game against Serbia, wasn't he? And he put the cross in for Harry Kane when Kane hit the bar. We've got Eze, Gomez, Palmer, Wharton, and of course, Cobby's in the squad. I mean, I really thought for a second, once I saw him doing the media duties the other day, I thought, wow, that means Cobby's starting. Maybe I'm too used to that when it comes to Manchester United. Of course, most of the time, I don't know what it's like with other clubs. I would assume it's the same with other clubs, but I can't be certain. For Manchester United, definitely, if the player's in the press conference, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be starting the next day, unless something happens to him. So when Cobby was doing the press, I thought, hey, Cobby's going to be playing. Good. Cobby's going to be involved. And of course, no, he's not going to. And I thought he handled it really well, the press conference. I thought, for the most part, I thought the journalists behaved themselves. But as is always the case, a couple of questions were just bullshit, weren't they? A couple of the questions were just a bit nasty, trying to make him slip up or asking him about topics like that, not that he's going to know all that much about, or not that he's going to give a controversial answer for. I mean, you have to remember, he's 19 years old. 19 years old in a press conference in front of a room of journalists with the world watching, and some of the things that they were asking him about or trying to make him slip up. I thought, they're just horrible, weren't they? They really are. And then the irony is they will bend over backwards, go out of their way to back and defend Gareth Southgate. Oh my word! I saw just in the build up to this, Micah Richards. It was really bizarre analysis. He went, I expected him to change with Trent and possibly Foden because that didn't really work out in the last game. But I'm glad he didn't, because that means he's sticking to his principles. So wait a minute, 2 seconds ago you're saying it didn't work. I know, but I'm glad he didn't change because he's sticking to what he believes in. What? So you'd rather stick to principles even if it's not actively working and it's a detriment to the team, just because, well, this is how I believe. Shouldn't the best manager be flexible? Shouldn't the best manager be able to adapt if it's not working? I mean, it's one thing if it was going to end up working, but there's no evidence of that at the moment. It's just, I don't know. Big up Midder. Midder's in the chat. Says, watching the game in Ireland. Everyone is supporting Denmark. Well, you can't be shocked, can you? But big up Minna, go subscribe to our channel. I'm sure someone will put a link in the chat. I'm not sure what the road to at the moment is, but if you haven't already, go subscribe. Doing lots of content at the moment. Clovis says England will win this one. Steffi Jenks says, not gonna lie, most matches I'm reading or playing Sudoku simultaneously. Not many lively matches. Well, we did get a bit of liveliness in the game before this. Of course, it was Serbia versus Slovenia, and a late last gasp, easy for me to say, last gasp equalizer for Serbia. And there's a bit of drama going on with Serbia at the moment. Of course, Serbia got punished by UEFA for their fans' behaviour before the England game, but now Serbia have complained about chanting from It's Albania and another country, I forget what it is, and their president of their FA, the Serbian FA or something, had threatened to walk out of the tournament or leave the tournament. So I don't know what's happening with that one. Let me double check that I've got that totally correct, but I think that is the case. And whether or not they'll end up doing it, I mean, I don't know. But Serbia, UEFA. Was it Croatia? Also did it. There you go. Serbia demand UEFA to punish Croatia and Albania for hateful chanting during their Euro 2024 clash yesterday, and could consider withdrawing from the tournament if they're not punished. So that is one to keep an eye out for, about what happens with that one. But again, it was a bit of late drama in that game, 1-1. And of course, after this, there's a fantastic game in Group B, I think. Spain versus Italy. What a clash that is. That should be fantastic too. A couple of other bits of just Manchester United news that's happening really throughout the day, kind of bubbling up. There's a bit more on Joshua Zirkzee, this time coming from James Ducker from The Telegraph, saying that Manchester United are preparing to trigger the £33.8 million release clause in Zirkzee's contract with Bologna. Manchester United are in talks with Zirkzee's camp, and while they maintain they have other options as well, there is serious interest in bringing him to Old Trafford. I think there's a bit of confusion about, I did see some people going with or reporting that a bid's been made. I don't think that's the case just yet, but Manchester United are very, very, very keen on it. There was a little bit more on this Jean-Claude Todibo situation, of course, with UEFA blocking Manchester United signing him from Nice, despite talks being advanced from both sides, and the player wanted to move. Nice wanted the move, Manchester United wanted the move. Of course, UEFA are cracking down on multi-club ownership, and the line that they've given Manchester United, this new rule that was implemented last year, was that you can't sell from one club to the other in the same competition if they're owned or have a stake in the same club. There was just a little bit from James Ducker saying Sir Jim Ratcliffe has challenged the situation regarding Jean-Claude Todibo with UEFA, but European football's governing body are determined to drive a hard line and ensure they're not seen to be favouring certain clubs. So I suppose it's not completely dead at this point, but I don't know if that one's going to happen. There's also another line from Dharma Chef from Sky Sports about Jared Branthwaite this afternoon, saying that Manchester United won't be drawn into a long-running saga over Jared Branthwaite, and they're unlikely to go back in and make another bid unless there are assurances from Everton that they're going to reduce the price. United feel there's no room for negotiation, and if there is no room for it, they're going to move on. They've got other targets, they're saying. So the suggestion is that they purposely lowballed Everton in the first place, And now they're saying, look, we're not going to go back in unless you're willing to drop down significantly. If you're not, we're not even going to bother putting a bid back in. So we're getting closer to that January 30 deadline, aren't we? For which Everton need to. I don't know if it necessarily has to be confirmed, agreed. Done. Excuse me. I think if there's like a deal agreed, or there is, a commitment to doing the deal by that point, that will be enough, perhaps. But looks like Ineos are driving a hard bargain there, as they should. I mentioned this on the transfer view shows recently. My prediction is, I think Flex said he thinks that Brantford will end up at United. My one is that Ineos will walk away from that deal to make a statement. I feel like one of these deals, they're going to walk away just to prove to everyone, no, we're willing to walk away from deals now when we've got other targets. So that's very curious. Or the negotiation might work perfectly and they'll end up getting him on a much reduced price than what Everton had originally intended, which would be great negotiation on their part. So Manchester United, again, driving a hard bargain there. And if it's too much, then move on to different targets if they believe that they have them. So there is still movement happening when it comes to transfer targets and what have you. We're 10 minutes away from kickoff. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to bottom right-hand corner. Road to 170,000. We're nearly at 169,500, which is great. As I've mentioned multiple times in these Euro 2024 match views, there is a very, 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 very busy summer of football ahead. You are going to be treated. We're all going to be treated when it comes to football this summer. Of course, we've got the Euros. Once this finishes, the day after, we've got a Manchester United pre-season friendly against Rosenborg on the 15th of July, I think it is. Then we go into the pre-season tour of the United States, and then we're already into the Premier League season. So it doesn't stop. And who knows, maybe in between then we might try and fit in a Copa America, or we might try and fit in an Olympics. Can you imagine that? Maybe we should, if there's Olympic football worth watching, an Olympic final maybe. Hey, if you guys want it, we'll do it. We'll find a way of making it happen. So, yes, be sure to subscribe, then you won't miss a single thing. Click the notification bell. You'll be notified, indeed, when we go live or when a new video is uploaded, because, as you would know, with transfer season, anything can happen at any time. Just look at even the Erik ten Hag news. When was that? Last week now? That happened, like 10:30 at night, maybe even later than that. So with Manchester United, you never know. I mean, I can tell you from my experience, my phone's never really switched off because you never know what's going to happen, when's going to happen. Just when you think things are going to get quiet, they get very busy. Just when you think you've got all the answers, as the phrase goes, they change the questions. And you go, I have no idea what's going on. Afro says, didn't Xerxes say he wants to stay in Italy? I saw some people saying that earlier. I don't know. I did see some rumblings once again about his agent driving a hard bargain with AC Milan, and a possibility about like his brother being involved and possibly Milan signing his brother. It does look like the agent is really trying to play lots of sides against each other, which is, I suppose, his job. Agents are notorious for that, aren't they? And there was the discussions about commission and getting the most money possible and what have you. So he's going to be obviously a key factor. And I suppose with that, by the way, then a consideration would be, do you want to bring in that kind of personality into the fold at United? Of course, we know in the past the difficulties Manchester United had with the late Mino Raiola. And in the past, prior to even Paul Pogba coming to United, with Alex Ferguson being like, I'm not going to work with him, we're not going to do business with him. Sometimes managers, if agents are too challenging, they try and keep them at an arm's length, don't they? So it'll be interesting to see what Ineos make of all of that too. So yes, players are in the tunnel. I'll turn my volume on so I can soak in the atmosphere. Of course, if Jordan Pickford gets a clean sheet today, I think he's got the record for clean sheets for England in a major tournament, which is fantastic for Jordan Pickford. As much sometimes I'm not sold on him. You cannot for England. He's always been reliable and solid. That's what you look for in international tournaments, anyway. Jude Bellingham, of course, everyone was talking about him after the 1-0 win, scoring the goal. Players are on their way out. Denmark versus England. Unfortunately, if you're watching here in the UK, you got to listen to Alan Shearer on commentary, which is always nice, isn't it? And also, let me know, guys, how you're watching this. Of course, if you're working 9 to 5, I'm sure maybe you might have tried to get away half an hour early. Maybe you booked the day off. Maybe you saw the calendar and went, well, annual leave's happening in the summer. Well, I suppose it depends how your annual leave's done. I used to work at a place where they split it in half. So you had to take some by the end of the year, but you also had to use some by like a halfway point of the year too. But we wait for the national anthem for Denmark and England. And we begin with God Save the King. Good singing. That's what we like to see. You want to be committed. Look, go on, Declan. That's better. John Stones as well. Kieran Trippier, good voice. And Harry Kane too. Yes. Commitment. Commitment. I mean, it still humours me a little bit because we're so used to God Save the Queen for so many years. Even now, you kind of forget that it's God Save the King, don't you? And now the national anthem of Denmark. I'm not big on the booing, by the way, during the national anthem. I think you should be respectful and let them sing their national anthem. Particularly if they do it for you. You know, let them sing. It's their moment. But it's going to be a challenging game. It's going to be a difficult one. Can says sing along, Owen. Maybe if we get quite far in the tournament. Daniel Luciano says summer break has just started. Perfect timing. There you go. I wasn't sure when the schools break up. Have they broken up yet? Has that happened, or is that still on its way? Because I was thinking, I was trying to remember when they broke up. Because I remember the first game of the World Cup in 2010, and I sprinted home from school at the time. Sprinted to watch South Africa play. So they do sometimes start right at the end of the term, don't they? Abahit says, me and the team lead took the day off together. Nice. That's what you got to do, hasn't it? You got to be smart. When the calendar comes out, you go, right, these are the games. Take these off. And if you're smart, like today, you go, well, it's Thursday. I take Friday off as well. That turns into a long weekend. Or if you want to save your annual leave, here's one to do. You take today off and tomorrow you're working from home. That's always a good one. Just put in your WhatsApp groups or whatever you're on. Some people are on Slack. You just WFH today. WFH for me. They go, okay. WFH. Which basically means I'm going to be at home. I'll answer emails if need be. That's what I'll do. WFH today. That's what I'll be doing. Well, work from home can sometimes just mean make sure your laptop's turned on by 9 o'clock. Really. One of the companies I used to work for had a policy that no meetings were allowed to be scheduled after 3 o'clock on a Friday. Which for me went WFH on a Friday and then nothing happens. Nothing. That was it. And you go, well, I can't set a meeting. You know, you'd be messaging someone or someone call you. Go, can't set a meeting. It's Friday. It's 3 o'clock. So can't really. You know, I don't want to break rules. You know, I mean, I'm in HR. Can't really do that. So sorry. Apologies. Afro Teams app. Yeah, that's another one. The dreaded Teams ringing noise. Oh, sends shivers, doesn't it? I think that has replaced, like, you know, the landline, in the sense, you know, when you were younger and everyone else house had a landline phone, and then it would ring at certain times, and you go, who's that? Who's calling me at that time? Say with Teams on a certain day at a certain time. Who's doing that? Austin says, hope you're having a good one. Let's go England. Big up, Austin. Appreciate you joining us. Long-time member of the channel. HJ says, Owen, did you used to work from home before it was normal? Yeah, one of the companies I worked for was really, really, really good for it, actually. They were really big and quite pioneering, actually, on flexible working. They had an office, but they were really good on if you wanted to work from home, that was fine. I think we're going to have a moment's silence. For, I think, UEFA General Secretary, they were saying. For Gerhard Agner. There you go. Daniel Luciano says, Owen, thoughts on Lineker's comments to Lampard? It was funny. I don't know if you've seen Lineker's response to it. He basically said that he said it wrong. It was about Frank Lampard being bold or something. He said that he said it wrong, but it was quite humorous to see his face. Oh, got the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Oh, shut up, Alan Shearer, honestly. It's a long ball over the top. Rasmus Højlund, he's onto this already. Not today, Rasmus, please. I bet it'll look brilliant. I'll tell you what, here's a chance. They've had a shot already, Denmark, held by Jordan Pickford. But it was a little bit of hold-up play by Rasmus Højlund there. Big season ahead, doesn't he, Rasmus Højlund? Settled Man United player now. Hopefully another striker, possibly Joshua Zirkzee, maybe someone else to help support him. Let's see what he can do. Oh, I'll tell you what, Trippier's given the ball away. And here's Trent. Oh, it's good that he's in there for his passing, isn't it? He's just given the ball away with his first kick. Christensen. Oh, God. Here's Bukayo Saka. I promise I'm going to try and remain as calm as possible. I know I kind of lost it for a second there. I kind of lost with that one. But it's all right. Fine. Super chat from Spencer says, hurry up and suck, Trent. I mean, you know, I wasn't sure where that super chat was going, Spencer, to be honest with you. Then bringing in Cobby, but I feel like maybe some grammar, you know, I'm not sure where it's going to go. Walker, ball in, cleared. Bukayo Saka, now with a throw-in. Saka, of course, got the assist for Jude Bellingham. Trent Alexander-Arnold once again. And I mean, I've just, after 2 minutes, been reminded of how that last game started for England, when basically England passed it sideways for like 25 minutes. And it was like, oh my God. And they were like, well, we've had a lot of possession. And you go, yeah, we've not moved from the halfway line. Declan Rice. There's John Stones. The reverse pass to Declan Rice. You always got to try and do it in sort of the Robbie kind of voice. Declan Rice. We've got to do this. I like the impression that Flex has done of Robbie recently. The sort of mumble under the voice one. Wait a minute. 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 Go Southgate. Oh, who was that? Switch gone over the head of Kyle Walker for a throw-in. Well, I don't know about the switch. I don't know about the others with the switch and the ball. Throw into Denmark. I hope you're looking for something from Phil Foden today. As Denmark on the travelling forward a bit here. That's Anderson. Ball in. Gahey headers away. Who I thought did very well in the last game. Of course, which meant immediately Manchester United are linked. well, good game. And go, well, Man United must be interested. Christensen is Hjulmand. Switch over to Christensen. Back out to Højbjerg. Christian Eriksen. Bit of space if they wanted to have the shot. Oh, he tried the pass as well. Phil Foden. See, it's in areas like this, right? We've won the ball back. Now, can we move the ball forward quicker? Can we be faster? Or are we going to win it back and are we going to just pass it around sideways for 20 minutes? Just going, just a little bit of energy, just a little bit of tempo. Trippier. Phil Foden. That left-hand side is so inverted, isn't it? Walker. Oh, fucking hell. They're passing like peak Manchester United at the moment. Won it back. Both teams can't pass. We're into the 6th minute and 0-0 and both teams can't really settle. I've got an eyelash in my eye as well. It's not me just, already crying at this England performance. Declan Rice. Jude Bellingham. He was everywhere in the first half against Serbia, wasn't he? A bit more quiet in the second half, but first half he was excellent. Trent Alexander-Arnold. John Stones. And even that's just ahead of Kyle Walker. Wasn't the best pass. Trent. Declan Rice. Trent, ball over the top. Too heavy, goes all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel holding the ball. See what England's press is like. I must be said at the moment, it looks like all of the noise is kind of coming from the Danish fans. Just need to wake up a little bit. That's Vestergaard. Højbjerg. Space there in the gap. And England all behind the ball at the moment. And not really being pressed all that much. Being allowed a lot of time on the ball. I mean, the press is somewhat half-hearted. Look at that. They're just playing it around us. Mailer keeps it in. Is that going to be a free kick? Free kick given. Kieran Trippier goes down. Did he just nick it in front of him? He did, yeah. Well, a lot of contact, but gets the foul. That's going to be Jordan Pickford to take. as we're still in this opening 10 minutes. Kyle Walker's down. Kyle Walker's down, so this isn't good. Wow. Does this mean that ends up... Does Trent end up going to right back, maybe, and then put Gareth in midfield? Imagine. Put Kobbie Mainoo in midfield. But, I mean, if Kyle Walker's down after 8 minutes, then that's not good at all. He rolled his ankle when he went in that turf. Ooh. Yeah, rolled his ankle. Nasty. Now, that could be one of those ones where he's gone for the whole tournament. It could be one of those ones where he just misses the next match. Well, he's changing his boots. So, maybe he just wants a bit more security around his ankle, perhaps. Something a bit tighter. Long kick by Pickford. One by Vestergaard, I think. And Højbjerg's got the ball. They're talking about the conditions out there on the pitch, saying that the ground's cutting up. There you go, counter-attack opportunity. Bellingham manages to keep it just about. Trent. A pass just a little bit in behind Kyle Walker. Bellingham goes for a switch towards Trippier. Manages to drop down luckily for England. Foden. Trent. Forward. Move the ball forward. Please. I feel like I need to be... Remember that meme? Or it's like a video, a famous one, where those people in the stands have got an arrow pointing to the goal. Going, go that way. Bukayo Saka. Bellingham. Goes down. Referee says no foul. And now Bellingham's down on the floor. I'm surprised Højbjerg put that out. Bellingham saying that's one. Let's have a look. Was it a foul? No, it gets the ball. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. Certainly not like what it was against Serbia. Against Serbia, they were just kicking him. But I think that's fine. "11 minutes gone and rather dry, isn't it? A ball over the top. Rasmus Højlund, to tell you what, he's... I might have been given offside in the end. I was going to say, because he got in behind Mark Gahey there. In the end, he was off. It would have been tight. I'm not sure. I don't know what the protocol is, by the way, now, with offsides. You know, like previously it was you let it play out and then the referee puts his flag up, or the liner puts his flag up. Is that still the case, or do they not do that anymore? I'm not sure what the rule is with automated. Bellingham takes it down. He's into the box. Trippier, Bellingham. Out to Foden. Oh, and now we're going backwards. That's good pass by John Stones. Kyle Walker. Trent. Bukayo Saka. Stones. Rice. Walker. Cuts it back. Foden. Shifts it onto his right foot. Phil Foden! Oh, he should do better. He should do better. He does really well. Shifts it on to his right foot, then back onto his left foot. And to be honest, I thought once he'd got into the box there, I thought this is definitely going to go on target. For Phil Foden, he's leaning back for some reason. But for him, that's a chance. I mean, it bounces up a bit and he's leaning back. But for his quality, he'll be like, oh, I should have got that one maybe on target. But that's a bit better. That's a good header by Kieran Trippier. Cuts out the goal kick. And then, to be honest, that's the areas you want to see Phil Foden pick up. You know, you want to see him be more central because that's where he's more effective. The problem is does that leave your left-hand side a bit exposed? But first half chance for England goes to Foden. Off target. England got the ball back, though. Gahey to John Stones. Fishes that one in. Saka played it chest height to Alexander-Arnold. Saka, ball still going. And a little shove in the back. I don't think there was enough in that. Saka. It goes down too easily. Yes, the Danish player knew what he was doing, but so did Saka. But we're nearly 15 minutes in. 0-0 still here. Of course, as I mentioned earlier on, England have never won the opening 2 games at a European Championship. Baylor. Out to Højbjerg. Christensen. Vestergaard. Tries to put it out to the wing. Intercepted by Walker. Saka, he was unlucky. It came off a Danish player. It would have been a good 1-2 by Saka and Walker. C says, you reckon Kane will have more than 3 touches in this game? Well, has he touched the ball yet? I don't know if he has. I mean, legitimately, I don't think he's actually touched the ball. I'm just seeing him from this throw. He's actually already starting to come really deep because he's just not touching it at all. Gahey. But you tend to find in these Gareth Southgate teams, the players that touch the ball the most are the centre-backs. Because I'll pass it sideways, pass it forward and ends up coming back to him. Denmark have the ball once more. They're talking a lot about this pitch, aren't they? Saying about people slipping or the pitch cutting up. Oh, it's a short pass by Kasper Schmeichel. Rice puts pressure on. England win the ball back. Rice. Harry Kane, he's touched it. Shoots, blocked. But Declan Rice did well. I mean, it was a short pass by Schmeichel and they're just on him straight away. Stones. England go all the way back to Pickford. I'll tell you what. Pickford tried to pass it to John Stones. He's lucky that Kyle Walker was there because he missed him. Stones switches out to Trippier. Good touch. Foden. Trent gives it back to Gahey. Here's Kyle Walker. Saka. A reverse pass. Is Walker going to get there? He is. He didn't even know he was there. Kyle Walker, get it across goal. Walker. Deflected. Harry Kane! He doesn't need many touches, does he? He doesn't need many. People had the nerve to say he's not the best striker in the world. Oh my goodness, he is. It's a mistake by Denmark. Kyle Walker pounces on it. He then gets the ball across goal. Harry Kane. He is the best number 9 in the world. That's what he does. For all of the talk about touching the ball, he doesn't need to. I still, to this day, those Man United fans that were like, well, age, sell on value, he scores goals. That's what he does. Scores goals. It's a really sloppy goal from Denmark's point of view. It's not unbelievable play by England by any stretch of the imagination, but it's pouncing on a mistake. He has no idea he's even there. Nobody gives him a shout. Walker gets it across goal, and I tell you what, it takes 2 deflections to get to Harry Kane. From a Denmark point of view, what a really shitty goal to concede. I don't care at all. Harry Kane, tournament's up and running. That's what he does, score goals. Like he's been doing all year, he scored another goal in Germany. 1 deflection, 2 deflection. Falls to Harry Kane. You make your own luck. Harry Kane 1-0. And despite not being a first, close to 20 minutes to remember, they all count and it doesn't matter. 1-0. What's Alan Shearer talking about? He's saying there was a dilemma about Harry Kane. There was never a dilemma about playing Harry Kane. I don't think anyone was going, don't play Harry Kane. I think maybe the dilemma was about how can we get more service into Harry Kane. And I don't think the service was let's get 2 deflections to him. But there's something about strikers, isn't there? Strikers' instincts, they always just end up in the right areas, don't they? Somehow, some way, they've got the 6th sense, as it were, and they're always there. And tap-ins count just the same as 30-yard screamers. And England 1-0 up. Here's Denmark. Now just got to make sure I don't concede immediately. Christensen, who made the mistake. Oh, Alexander-Arnold nearly got caught there. Saka, and he clears. And goes all the way to Kasper Schmeichel. Ninth Earth says he doesn't win trophies. That was also a really weird one with Harry Kane last summer. Why Man United fans didn't want to buy him. Well, he's not won anything. He plays for Spurs. This year, he didn't win anything at Bayern Munich. Fair enough. That's a very big anomaly, isn't it? But he'll win something with him next year. Because he just will. Because Bayern Munich will get back on track. They always do. He's just... And to be honest, if that's a prerequisite for Manchester United, well, we can only buy players that have won things. Whoa! That was fierce. Trippier clears it. We've bought plenty of players that have won stuff. How's that worked out for us? And that's offside. But we have seen this for a few of the top teams. I think he's onside there as well. I think Stones played him on. Oof. Oh, I tell you what. I think the way he gets away with that Højbjerg is that he slips, but it was nearly 2-footed. And by the way, have you noticed any kind of borderline offside? Alan Shearer just goes, I think he's offside. You go, what? I mean, I know probably the majority of people watching on the BBC are probably English, but still, he's probably off. Probably offside. Oh, I didn't realise that's what the semi-automated offside was doing. It probably off, mate. England fans now in full voice as England are 1-0 up. And on the way to qualifying for the next round. Oh, Bellingham just turned into trouble there very unnecessarily. And hopefully it can make England settle down a little bit more. Because it must be said that, once again, in my opinion anyway, prior to that goal, England's start did leave a lot to be desired. That's a good pass by Denmark. Eriksen, still going. Eriksen, blocked. Still in the box. Saka, edge of the box. Christensen, he tried the cross, and that's blocked. Denmark throw. Still, it's just like, all right, okay, we want to work. Let's not drop off, because we weren't we weren't that on anyway. Just seeing the goal. I mean, that's terrible, isn't it, from Denmark? Really, really poor. And then just the deflections. But you take them. Look at Gareth in his cream, was that a jumper? It's kind of zip up. Really sure he did say he was going to be more casual in this tournament. Got a nice sort of cream number on there. Eriksson, space to turn. Going to be a ball in for Denmark. Header from Pickford holds that. Again, was half a chance for Denmark. John Stones just about does enough. But it's 25 minutes. We're in the 25th minute, excuse me. 1-0 to England. A Harry Kane goal. Bit of fortune. A mistake by the wing-back. Couple of deflections. Falls to Harry Kane, who slots it home. Rice tries that ball over the top. Towards Bellingham. Kasper Schmeichel claims it. Wasn't terrible. Has been a bit quieter in this game thus far, hasn't he? Jude Bellingham. A bit quieter than he was in the first game. But still plenty of time to go. To get more involved. Joachim Andersen, who's made a bit of a run forward. He's got it back here. And Denmark, again, it's been, I think, pretty even game still. That's my sort of thought on it. And Denmark still do look dangerous. I mean, you look at the stats at the moment. England, 53% possession, 3 shots, 1 on target. Denmark, 2 shots, 1 on target. As I mentioned, it's pretty even. Vince Eriksson, shot blocked. And Denmark, now they want a free kick. And England going to play on the counter-attack here. I don't know, just... Trent with the pass to Saka, and I think that's a free kick to England. And it's a booking. Booking for Vestergaard. Can't lose to a team with Vestergaard in defence. Come on. And it is a foul. Saka gets there first. Just little nicks the ball ahead of him. Clear foul. Cynical. Booking. I mean, what would Ty say?
Where's the card then? Where's the card?
Exactly. Harry Kane scored.
Done okay.
Well, okay. Can England win the Euros?
Believe.
Enough, Robbie. We don't need to go that far. Oh, what a dive! What a dive! Disgrace.
Honestly, I feel sick. That's how I feel. I feel sick.
Did you see that? Oh.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Ball in, Gehi. Oh, nearly kept it in. Højbjerg, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's like he was doing a knee slide. He was like he was at a wedding. Gehi was unlucky. Tried to get back across goal. Just couldn't do it. Little flicker on as Denmark play out from the back. Eriksson flicks it towards Rasmus Højlund. Little 1-2. Denmark still bringing the ball forward. Again, that's blocked. Anderson gets the ball back. Puts it out wide. Højbjerg. He's into the box this time. Stays in. Oh! Pickford. They've still got it. Højlund. Honestly.
What is going on here?
What was that? It looked like he thought it was just going out. But it stays in. Goes towards Pickford. And next thing you know, Eriksen gets ahead of him. And he manages to get it back to Højlund. He kind of got stuck under his feet and actually comes back off Trent. Leander says Owen does a knee slide at weddings. Like, when I was younger, yeah, I was proper show off. Not in this stage. If I did a knee slide at a wedding, I'd be like when Vince McMahon tore both his quads and he's just sat down in the ring. Like that. I just wouldn't be able to get back up. I'd just be with my hands on my hips like this. It'd be impossible. If I wanted to do a knee slide now, I'd probably have to have a 6-month training camp. Walker's got the ball. All the way back to Pickford. But Hjulmand's still got the ball. And put back out to the Danish wing. That's into the box. Vint. Mailer. Pickford punches. I mean, he called and then just kind of punched it very light. But here's Bukayo Saka, possibly on the counter-attack. Going up the right-hand side. It's always annoying. You know, I tell you what just happened to me. What happened to Flex the other day. When someone calls you and then it goes through onto your computer and messes up your sound. What a disgrace. Ugh. No calls. No calls. I'm occupied. But still 1-0. 30 minutes gone. Harry Kane with the goal. As chants of England rain out. But Denmark got all the ball. And again, they look like they're the more likely team to make something happen. Anderson. Oh! Deflection. Oh, on the roof. Is that going to be a corner? I tell you what, again, they're making more chances. I mean, Alan Shearer, stop complaining about the pitch. They are playing better than us. We said this before the goal that actually, you know what? It's an even game. They've had now more of the ball. They've had more shots on target. They're playing on the same pitch as us, by the way. So that I hate that whole, wow, look at the pitch. Well, they're doing all right on the pitch, okay? Pitch wasn't a problem when we scored, was it? You know, what would Flex say?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I agree. Corner ball. Referee's not happy with something. He's having a chat with Kyle Walker. Walker and Christensen, he says, I'm watching. He's watching them both. Now they're having a conversation, Christensen and Walker. Going to be Christian Eriksen on this. Ball in. And free kick. Referee, he pointed. It was like, I told you. I warned you. I told you I was going to do it, and I did it. Yeah? Good. Yeah. Well done, referee. I mean, it wasn't that loud of a cheer and that sort of long. You know, the cheering noises on this aren't that great. And again, a lot of my sound effects are rather negative. I don't have many good ones. Which I need to fix that. I need to fix that. We need to get more positive sounds. Okay, he's lost the ball, and there's a bit of a collision. And it's going to be a throw into England too. But this is, honestly... And now they're once again talking about the pitch. I don't think... I mean, that was a foul. They've got the ball back again. Shoots up! What have I been saying the last couple of minutes? I've been saying Denmark are the better team. I've been saying they're on top of us. I've been saying they've had more of the ball. I've been saying they have been having more shots. And look at them, they score. Can't say I'm shocked. Can't say I'm shocked. Alan Shearer on commentary can talk about the pitches, or he can talk about, oh, actually, this came out of nowhere.
Excuses?
Because it's just that. It's just that, an excuse. They've been the better team. Because Southgate ball is going really well, isn't it? Southgate ball is leading us to be dominated by Denmark. They've had more of the ball. They've had more shots. Now we're level. It's a great goal. It's a fantastic goal. But it's been coming. Unbelievable strike. Take a look at this. 25 yards out, in off the post. Nothing Jordan Pickford can do about it. Nothing. But at the same time, it's been coming. You've been inviting that. Because for some reason, for some strange reason, England and Southgate have decided, how long's gone? Oh, only 35 minutes. Let's go for a low block. We've already got a goal. We've already got our goal. Let's go low block. Honestly. So sloppy. And it was coming. Again, you don't have to be blind to see it. Or not blind. I don't know. Honestly.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's what Gareth Southgate's thinking right now. And I know come out afterwards again and go, wow, Phil Foden, I thought he was phenomenal in the last game. That's what he said after the last game. Phil Foden, he was phenomenal. Honestly, it's the same. It is. That's why I said before the game, I think this will probably be 1-1. Might not be 1-1 now because we've already got that scoreline. But it's a great strike, but it's not as if, again, that came out of nowhere. They've been all over us. They have. They've been all over us. The only thing they're talking about is the pitch. Kyle Walker travels, loses it. Look at them playing through. Oh, he could have played on. He should have. Honestly. Less than 10 minutes to half time. Look, I mean, again, even look at it now. Look at us. I mentioned that we weren't pressing. Honestly, we're camped in our own half. It's the 37th minute. We're camped in our own half. We scored the goal that was a bit fortuitous. Let's not get that mistaken too. And then we're just sitting behind the ball. Who are we? What are we doing? And I've not got amnesia or memory loss. I'm asking Gareth Southgate. You're England. You're meant to be one of the favourites of the tournament. You're parking the bus against Denmark in the second game. And they're still playing through you. He takes a shot. Honestly. Just madness. Absolute madness.
It ain't been fucking good enough.
It hasn't. And yet people want to talk about his record and how far he's gone in tournaments. If this is against Denmark, heaven forbid we play, France again or Germany on the roof of the net. They're all over us. They're all over us. And that's the other thing. When you complain about him playing the same team again, then you get the people pushed back. Oh, don't be so negative. Come on, you won the game. It's not like, I thought England won. I thought England actually won that game. You're just a critic. Why are you being critical? Because you've got eyes. Because you can see this. Look. 50% possession each. They've had 7 shots, 3 on target. We've had 4, 1 on target. And that's the Harry Kane one after 2 deflections. But Alan Shearer is keep going on about the pitch. As if Denmark aren't playing like Brazil on it.
Excuses!
And look at him again. Flying forwards. A rubbish cross in the end. And that's why before the tournament, when you get the media going, well, it's now or never for England. Well, it's never then, isn't it? Well, it's never. Great goal. It's a great goal, but at the same time, it's a great goal from 25 yards that he can take a shot because nobody's near him. Because the England game plan is, let's just get behind the ball. Okay, it's at the 90th minute. No, it's the 35th. Still 10 minutes of the first half to go. Five minutes to half time. Thank God. I say that like stuff will change. Phil Foden, that's better. From a central area. Phil Foden. Pass it to Harry Kane. Harry Kane's turning around saying, pass it, pass it, pass it. As Red Devils 99 says, the underdog England putting in a valiant display. Playing on the counter-attack. Whilst also trying to play possession football. Honestly. As a Manchester United fan, you hope when you get to international football after the season we had, it would be a break from shit. But it's just a continuation. You're just going, right, I've swapped shirts. I've got a clean one on now. Bring on more shit. I'm ready again. I'm ready for it. Rice. And even in these areas, we just pass it and we're just so static. Trippier. Kane bounces off him. They got the ball back. Trippier. Little flick. Foden. Goal kick. Seeing this goal again. Nothing Jordan Pickford can do. It's a great finish. But it just summed up England because we weren't playing that well before the goal. We got the goal, bit of luck, mistake, deflection. And you go, right, we're going to go on now, a bit of a catalyst. No, I can't do that. Let's get behind the ball. What? And this isn't new. I mean, that is the thing that genuinely bothers me the most. Is that this is not new. This has been the case for, 6 years? This is nothing new. Foden loses the ball. Hjulmand. I mean, England was holding on to half-time at this point. Oof, I tell you what, Højlund went into Gay a little bit there. England won the ball back. Harry Kane. And he's gone down. And no foul. Højlund, great touch. Another shot. Honestly. Better team. Better team. All over us. More shots. More of the ball. More on target. Better passing accuracy. In every metric you can think about, apart from the scoreline, they have been better than us. Rasmus Højlund. And this, well, let this play out because you never know. Højlund across goal. And again, going into the Declan, what are you doing? Oh. This is what we were saying before the game too, saying that this idea of, well, you can do this in the group stages. Oh yeah, Trent in midfield and Foden out left. You can do it in the group stages against the lesser teams. Yeah. Against the lesser teams. That's what we can do it against. Well, you can't. How about that? You can't do it against the lesser teams. Because these aren't lesser teams. It's international football. Ridiculous. I mean, it's 2024, by the way, guys. Thursday, the 20th of June, 2024. And we're getting overrun by a midfield that involves Højbjerg. And no, I'm not having some kind of... Well, I am having some kind of breakdown, clearly. But... just ridiculous, isn't it? Declan Rice. Alexander-Arnold, ball in. Goes all the way over to Trippier. Rice. Out to Bukayo Saka. Ball over the bar. And that's half time. Yep, stop the clock, Owen. Oh, now Alan Shearer's. Now his tone's changed, hasn't it? Oh, it's been a really frustrating half for England. Well, we've been saying that since the opening minute. We've been saying it since the last game, Alan. What have you been watching? Oh, he was too busy making funny puns on commentary. Because that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Honestly.
Now go home and smoke some more crack.
And that goes to you, Gareth Southgate, too. Because apparently that's what he's been doing. Remember, as soon as that came out yesterday, if you were watching I can't remember what match I was doing yesterday, but when the news came out, it's an unchanged team from Gareth Southgate. I pressed the breaking news thing. And said, it's an unchanged team. And Mika Richards wondered what he says now. Because earlier on he was praising it, saying, I'm glad he's sticking to his convictions. Conviction what? Conviction to lose. Because Denmark have been the better team in the same way that actually Serbia could have made an argument that they were the better team against us. Belgium were the better team when we played them in the friendlies. Iceland were the better team. Brazil were the better team. Any team really that we've played for the last, 2 to 3 years has been the better team. And all of this pre-tournament confidence was rooted in nothingness. It was a poof. It just came out of thin air. Of just, we're going to go really far. It's now or never for England. Why is it now or never for England? Well, let's pick never, because it's not happening. Because, again, look who's in charge. Look who's still in charge. Look who's been doing the same things for year after year after year after year. As I said, it's an impression. It's a bad impression. It's like a lookalike. It's like a bad lookalike. I think Pep plays like this. What? While he plays out from the back a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play out from the back. We're going to play sideways. We're going to have no movement. We're going to try and be smarter than everyone else, more creative than everyone else. I'm going to put Trent in midfield. Why? Well, because I'm a genius, obviously. Because you just don't see the vision. And he does. We've got to get him in midfield. Oh, so you've got no midfielders in your squad, have you? Are you really stuck for midfielders? Oh, no, we do. We do have midfielders, actually, on our squad. We do have Kobbie Mainoo. We do have Wharton. We do have Gallagher. But we're not going to do that. We're going to play Trent there instead. Oh, okay. Oh, and you've got Trippier at left back, even though he's right-footed. So you got like no other left backs available. Well, Luke Shaw, we picked him, but he's injured. Oh, so you had no one else to pick from. Well, no, actually, we did. We did. You know, we had Mitchell, we had Chilwell, but I took a risk on that one. Okay. Phil Foden out on the left, so you've got no other sort of left wingers you could play there. Oh, no, I do. I just don't want to do that. And then I'm going to complain afterwards about lack of options or lack of selection. And also, by the way, I ain't going to see changes at half-time. We're going to have to wait to the 65th minute or 70th minute like we did the other day. Once again, I thought they played really well. This isn't an issue of player quality. This is an issue of managerial quality, team selection, tactical bullshit, and it's the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's the story of England throughout the generations of this fantastic crop of young players being wasted because they have a manager that cannot get the best out of them, and they have a manager that plays dull, boring football, or if they come up against a good coach or a good team, then they come unstuck. They are completely uninspiring. That is it. Completely uninspiring. And I thought when I mentioned it before, even before the Serbia game, playing Trent in midfield, I think does a disservice to the opposition. I think it's disrespectful to the opposition because I think it says, well, we just get away with it. You know, we'll get away with it. And the thing is, we do end up getting away with it because we won our last game. So the pushback is, well, we won. That's all that matters because it is all that matters. Even if we draw this evening, it'll be like, well, it doesn't really matter. We'll still probably go through. But it's looking forward. It's looking forward to actually winning tournaments. How are you meant to progress and actually win a tournament if you're experimenting in the first couple of games and the experiment's not working, but you're still sticking with it? It is madness. Absolute madness. But it's nothing new. I'm not sitting here like I'm shocked. I'm sitting here annoyed because it feels like...
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Because it's always the same. I mean, it's always the same after the second game. I remember in the last Euros when we drew a Scotland 0-0. And granted, we got to the final, but the warning signs are always there. That's what it is. The warning signs are always there, honestly. What are people saying in the chat? If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Alan says Trent is a luxury player in a team that can't afford a midfielder without a defensive bone in his body. CH says these men need to let Thomas Frank talk about tactics, one who actually deals with it. And again, this is what annoys me with the pundits. And this is why I had a bit of a whinge about pundits yesterday, because it's true. Because before the game, they give it all sort of back in England. They don't bring up some of the negatives, the sort of really clear negatives coming out of the game before. And then at half-time, they pretend they're shocked by them. They go, oh, England just haven't settled and played well this half. I'm just not sure this is working. Did you not watch any of the last game? Have you not watched England for the last 2 years? Just, oh, my God. What else are people saying here? G says, can we just send Kobbie back? What a joke. Mark says Denmark are playing a high line. We have no real pace other than Saka to get a run in behind. I mean, it's not only the fact that Denmark are playing high at the pitch. Well, I mean, England, they scored, and then for whatever reason, just decided to go like, let's get behind the ball. What? Look at the players you've got on the pitch. If there was ever the time to play, right, let's keep hold of the ball now. Let's play possession football, or let's really take control of the game. It would be then. But it was let's get behind the ball. Let's get defensive. What? You've got an early goal. You've got some momentum. It's just honestly. And it baffles me. Surely there are people in like Gareth Southgate's backroom staff that would just point these things out. Just like, the whole Trent midfield thing, that's a bit, I don't know about that. And, we've scored. All right, let's get behind the ball. Let's maybe not do that. Let's keep control of the game. It's there for us now. Let's kill the game off. Let's get another goal. No, we've got to get behind the ball, mate. Let's hit them on the counter attack. What? It's just madness. Madness. What else are people saying here? Redwan says we went from ultra attacking to ultra defensive. FC 24 mode. Show says, can we sack Southgate at half time? Yank says, take out Trent, put Gordon in, drop Bellingham to 8, and move Foden centrally. Again, I hope I'm wrong, as I've said many a times. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he would make some changes at half time, but I'd be really surprised. He'll wait till the 70th minute again or something. Or he's probably having a discussion in the dressing room with his technical staff going, have we got any more right backs we can play? Let's get some more right backs in this team. That's what this team needs. We need more right backs. Who's a right back we can get on and play? That's what we need. That's what would fix this. It's just, and again, I know that the pitch has been cutting up quite a lot, but it doesn't seem to have hurt Denmark, does it? Once you get into like the conditions and what have you, if there's one team that's making much better of it, then you go, well, they're fine. It's not as if Denmark are playing on a different pitch to England. They're playing in the same conditions. Yes, the pitch is cutting up, but it's cutting up for both teams. It's not a case of just the conditions are making it impossible for us to play. No, our tactics are making it impossible for us to play. I mean, they're just showing here. Look at that. The average position before scoring versus after scoring. The average position after England scored was the entirety of the team in our own half. So don't tell me that England didn't get behind the ball and park the bus, because they literally did. They scored, and we scored after 18 minutes, nearly 20 minutes into the game, and the tactic was get behind the ball. For the remaining 70 minutes. What kind of England playing is that? That is madness. And I'm glad that graphic is shown, because sometimes when you see it and you go, I know that's the case, but I just need some actual tangible evidence that that's the case. And it was absolute madness. That is. The average position for every English player after they scored the goal was inside their own half. What are we? Are we a League 2 side playing in the FA Cup third round? Are we at Old Trafford or something like that? No, we're not. We're meant to be one of the favourites in the tournament. Playing against Denmark. No disrespect. They probably should be winning the game. They've had more of the ball and better chances and more shots and done everything else better than England. But what right coach, what right manager in their mind would do that with this group of players? Get behind the ball. Oh, is it like 2 minutes to half time? Is that why we're trying to see it out? No, there's like 30 minutes left. What? Is someone like looking and going, oh, is that what? Oh. Just, honestly. Well, hopefully something can happen in the second half. I mean, England can, snap back into life. Not that they were actually alive in the first place. Maybe Southgate will make some subs, perhaps.
He's crying in his car.
I'm nearly. I'm just not out of like I'm devastated. It's just. To the media, honestly.
Wake the fuck up!
How many more games you need to see? And you know what the likelihood will be is that England end up winning this game. We'll end up winning it like 2-1 or something. And then it'll be like, see, Southgate did it again. He did. It was tough, but they got through. Because did you see the way they described that Serbia result? It was a difficult start for England, but they got through. And you're going, come on. Where's this protection? Protection coming from? It's just, ugh. And it's got the whole pissing tournament. Got to do this. Just England. Jan says media will blame the England players. Now that's the other part of it, isn't it? They start going on about this player wasn't very good. That player wasn't very good. How about the manager? What's he doing? Clover says England will win, but it'll be difficult. I'm still going with England end up winning this. But my prediction before the game was a draw, so I'm on for my prediction before the game. But maybe it'll go the way of like England score, it's late, and they're like, limbs, throwing the ball up and all that, throwing the beers up in the air. Yeah. I go, Gareth's brought the atmosphere. He's brought the atmosphere in. And I tell you what, for the players that are really enjoying going on international duty, it's really showing, isn't it? Really showing at the moment. They're really enjoying themselves. I know I am. Yeah. But, the pitch is bad and it's warm.
Excuses!
And, of course, at Group C as it stands, England would be top, 4 points. So the pushback of this will be spare the freak out, Owen. Come on, top of the group. Why are you going crazy? It's because it's the same. It is the same. And if we have to play a big team, when we play a big team, this will happen. We'll play like this and we'll get absolutely pumped 4-0. And then they'll be like, it was very surprising. In fact, I heard England, Or in the build-up to that game, when we play the big team, it'll be like, England, here we go, the big expectation, but they're going to do it. They're going to show up. They're going to deliver. And then when they don't, they'll be like, it's very surprising. Wow, I couldn't see that one come in.
Wake the fuck up!
Honestly. What are you guys saying here in the chat at the moment? Mars said Southgate should get a trophy for boring us all with a world-class squad like that. Jan says, imagine supporting Man United in the league and England in the Euros. Feel for you, Owen. Been a tough year. What's the KG phrase? I'm sure someone will let me know in the chat. When it's like, it's been hard the last few months. Is that what it is? It's been hard. It's been hard the last few months. Nathaniel says, Ten Hag really said Southgate settles for a goal. Next game is proven right. Tell you what, that's so true. That is so true. When he criticised Southgate, didn't he? And he was like, he settles for, he gets the goal and then he sits back. They literally did that next game. That's it, yeah. My style advisor says, it's been hard for me the past few days, yeah. I can't do the accent, so I'm not even going to try. The only thing I realised I could kind of do, I can kind of do a bit of a Sir Jim impression. I'm not going to do it now. I think it still needs a lot of work. But I kind of stumbled into that one this morning. So maybe that'll be coming soon. Maybe I'll be auditioning for a future Sir Jim sketch. As England players coming back out onto the pitch. They're all coming back out. Push up the pitch. Well, second half's just about to kick off. As we wait for kickoff. And we're off. I mean, actually, you know.
Breaking news.
England haven't made any subs.
It ain't been fucking good enough.
Honestly. Gareth saw that when let's keep going with it. Let's keep trying. Let's persist. I saw some good signs in that first half. But it's 1-1. Come on, England. Just the people don't really. The breaking news jingle can be used sarcastically. Here we go. They're in behind. Ball across goal. Højlund. Gotta cut it back. Shoots. Højlund. Clear it. Trippier. What has he done? It's not a pass back, but honestly, wasn't a back pass by Trippier. He just sliced it. Denmark not happy with the referee. Let's have a look. There's nothing in it. Nothing in that at all. Because you've got a midfielder and Højbjerg going up against a right back. Declan Rice. Bellingham, who's been really non-existent in this game, hasn't he? Not seen him. Denmark got the ball back. Eriksen. And once again, by the way, 2 minutes into this half, look at that, England, all behind the ball. Denmark are doing what we thought we would be doing, which is have a lot of the ball, possession. They'll get behind it, play a bit of a low block. Gahey wins the ball. Kane. Bukayo Saka. Kyle Walker. Kane. Saka. Here's Declan Rice. Declan Rice. Phil Foden. Now a bit of possession for England. Ugh. John Stones. It's just very... Alexander-Arnold, honestly. I wonder why, Guy Mowbray. I wonder why. Guy Mowbray on comment just goes, there doesn't seem to be any cohesion in the middle of the pitch. I wonder why. It's almost a little bit like it's a midfielder playing with a right back in midfield. And we've got midfielders on the bench. It's a little bit like that, isn't it? It's just no cohesion. It's just no cohesion in midfield. That's very surprising. Oh, I just didn't see that one come in. Oh. They've lost the ball. Denmark got it. There's no cohesion. There's no energy. There's nothing. There's no clue. Is what there is. No clue. No, and here's us meant to be enjoying our summers. If you had, booked, the day off work or, the term's just finished for school, go back in the office. Work from home's cancelled. Get some spreadsheets out. They're just as exciting as this. Here comes Trent. Here we go. Prove yourself. Do something. Passes it behind Foden. Back to Trippier. Bellingham. Bukayo Saka. Saka. Ball towards the back post. Foden. To Trippier. Good reverse pass that towards Bellingham. He's in the box. Bellingham still got it. Towards Trippier. Declan Rice. Deflected a bit. Goes into the hands of Schmeichel. And to think, some of those reports when they were like, well, Ineos might have been interested in Southgate, but the timeline didn't match up. I mean, when they're talking about timelines, are they talking about an alternate one? I.e., like in the multiverse, where Southgate's actually good? We're going to have to, like Marvel, go to the TVA, open up one of those doors. In this reality, Gareth Southgate's a good coach. Go. And we've also invented flying cars. You're immortal. You can live forever. Elvis is still alive, even though he's like 100. John Stones. Trent. Kieran Trippier. Alexander-Arnold. Ball over the top. It's in! Oh, side netting. I mean, at least someone's run a bit. It's a long ball by Trent. I mean, if that ended up going in. In the end, I tell you what, the Danish player took an elbow to the face. Well, I tell you what, legitimately, it is like watching Manchester United because the gaps in midfield at points are remarkable. Like some of their midfielders just receiving it, no pressure on them. Can turn. A lot of jogging from the England players. Oh, we're going to get a sub. Conor Gallagher's going to come on. Even Gareth's in the light. A sub at 53. I mean, good lord, we must be shit if he's making a sub already. Right, Trent Alexander-Arnold is off. On comes Conor Gallagher. And hopefully, that's the end of that experiment. It's done. Fail. I don't know what that is. Fail. Failure. F. And hopefully when Gareth patted him on the back there, he went, sorry, mate. Screwed that one up, didn't I? I mean, I'd rather it be Cobby. Someone that can get forward a little bit. Pass between the lines. But this is, generational Trent. Guys, we've got to get him into the side somehow, some way. I mean, fuck it. Let's play him in goal. Bellingham. Foden. Overlap. Bellingham. Cleared. And even just that's a little bit better. Just that's a little bit better. Let's have a bit of balance. Let's have people playing the positions they actually regularly play in for their club. Trippier with a throw-in. John Stones. Kyle Walker. Saka. Stones. Turn. Gallagher. Walker. Bukayo Saka. Trying to go past the fullback. There you go. Foden. Central. Takes a shot. Oh, off the post! But that's why people have been saying about Foden, if you can find a way to play him as the 10, get him central. When you've got him in a central position, he's better. As many people have been pointing out, they've been saying, look, drop Bellingham a little bit deeper into an 8 role. Have Phil Foden play as a 10. You know, and then put on Anthony Gordon off the left-hand side. You know, play a bit of balance. Just have a little bit of balance in the team. Instead of, like I said at half-time, trying to just be too smart, trying to be too clever. I know better than you guys. I know better. Because I'm Sir Gareth.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
It is. Watching England play it side to side.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I know it is. We're in the 57th minute, still 1-1. That go out? I think it did. It's England throw-in. Can England do something they've never done? 2 wins in a row. Or its first 2 wins, excuse me, of the Euros. I mean, honestly, England at an international tournament is not good for my blood pressure. Not in the sense of nerves. I'm not nervous at all. It's anger. It's rage. And that's why I push back when people in the... Oh, here we go. Ball in behind. Oh. They nearly had a chance again. When in the season, when they're like, oh, you just don't... You want Ten Hag out, but you don't want to say it. I'm like, if I wanted to say something, I would. Look at Gareth Southgate. Oh, no problem. No problem said someone shouldn't be in a job. Or I don't think they're very good. Foden. Harry Kane. That's a good pass by Harry Kane. He's got a great range of passing on him. Bukayo Saka, not really got many options. He managed to get in the box. It's brilliant. Takes a shot. Oh. I mean, it looks like if anyone's going to create anything, it's going to be Bukayo Saka, doesn't it? Every ball feels like it goes out to that right-hand side. Foden is unlucky. I mean, maybe the goalkeeper might have just had it covered. I mean, they need to do something different. I think at some point, I know Foden's hit the post, but you got to look at maybe taking Foden off perhaps and getting some more width, just so you got something down that left-hand side. And maybe bring on another striker. But again, this is Gareth Southgate I'm talking about. That's requiring to be a bit ambitious. I mean, he thinks being ambitious is wearing a cream jumper. That's him sort of pushing the boat out. Bukayo Saka cuts it back. You go to him like, hey, Gareth, what's the riskiest thing you've ever done in football? What's the biggest risk you've taken? You're looking at it, mate. Cream. All right. Free kick to Denmark. There's a foul too. Going to be a free kick. Christian Eriksen's going to stand over it. Be careful, Eriksen's got a good delivery. Oof, oh, my word. I said he's got a good delivery. He just smashed it into the head of Bukayo Saka. I can't believe he's still standing. I mean, the sound, the thud that it made. In terms of jobbing the wall.
Done okay.
Oh, who gave it away? And it's given a free kick. And it's been booked. Conor Gallagher's the first booking for England in the competition. Is that the case? Oh, yeah, he does tramp on his ankle. Yeah. Why did the German replay go to one of the Dutch fans calling him a knobbit? This is where I've got to show that replay. And what's the stats saying at the moment? I still feel like Denmark have probably had more of the ball. Unless I'm mistaken. 51% to 49, so it's even. But now Alan Shearer wants to try and take some pot shots. Now he wants to say, well, we're not seeing John Stones do what they normally do. Well, I wonder why. Alan, instead of having a go at some of the players going, we're not seeing John Stones doing what we're doing, or there's only one player up top. Why is that? Well, I don't think the players pick the team, do they? I don't think the players are sorting out these tactics, are they? Maybe it's the same guy that's been there the last 6 years. Damsgaard. Bar. Into the box. Well won by Declan Rice. Trippier. Foden. They've lost it. Eriksen shoots. Honestly. Ugh. Honestly.
You better watch out, because we are come for you.
That's what my message is to Gareth Southgate after the game. Walker. Pickford. Even Pickford saying to him, get up. Kane. And the thing is, it's not like the Ten Hag debate in the season, is it? You know, when it's like, oh, it's just the players can't do the system. What system? And these are England's best. These are some of the best players in the world. Best players in the Premier League, certainly. It's hard to do a system when there isn't one. Bukayo Saka. Cross goal. Goal kick. Honestly. Look at that. Oh, that was nasty. Look at Jude Bellingham. Ooh. His knee just sort of bent the wrong way. It looks like he's okay, I think. So we're going to get Ollie Watkins, Jared Bowen, and Eze are going to be coming on. Well, that's a bit more. Bring some attackers on. Bring something different on. And also change the system. Don't just bring the players on and expect it to be any different. Bring the players on and go, right, be a bit more attacking. Do something. Honestly.
It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Embarrassing.
Declan Rice is put out for a corner. Talk about summing up England. I mean, I don't even know if I'm using this phrase properly, but the midfielder's getting run through.
Like a dirty gal.
I think it's right. Thank you, Hayley. Rasmus is off. Paulson's on. Gonna be a corner. Corner ball. Ericsson takes. Ball in. Oh, edge of the box. Shoots. How by Pickford. It was from Damsgaard. It wasn't a bad technique, actually, but keeper holds it well. That's one thing you say about Pickford. I mean, he's not had a load to do, but everything he's done all right. Even that pass back to him there, Pickford. Who was that? Oh. This, I mean, it's peak England, isn't it, really? All the sort of talk and hype about him into tournaments. I mean, Gallagher was close. He's on a booking, remember? England throwing. Right, players going to come on. Hopefully. Let's have a look about this. I tell you what, Højbjerg loves a dive, doesn't he?
Honestly, I feel sick. That's how I feel. I feel sick.
Well, apparently, has he changed his mind? He's not going to make 3 subs now. He's going to make 2. Or maybe now he's coming back. Right, yes, it's going to be the 3. Phil Foden coming off. Right decision. Tick. Jared Bowen going on. I mean, I'd rather have Anthony Gordon on. Harry Kane coming off. Oh my. And Bukayo Saka coming off for Eze. Well, if you're going to bring off like for like, then wouldn't you bring on Cole Palmer or someone like that? I mean, I'm not totally against Harry Kane, but you think he could get on Cole Palmer perhaps? But you know what now? All right, you've got on some high energy, high pace players. Press. I mean, again, I'd bring on Cole Palmer. I mean, the guy scored an unbelievable amount of goals in the Premier League this season. But something different. I'll give him credit for that. Not a lot, but I'll give him something. I'll give him credit for that. And at least you haven't done it with 5 minutes to go. But Ollie Watkins can press very, very well. And 2, he can run in behind. I'm a big fan of Ollie Watkins. I have been for a couple of seasons. But now's not the time to be just, all right, we've brought him on, let's go sideways passing. But at the same time, you are looking at that going, again, there's Palmer on the bench. Kobbie Mainoo's on the bench still. I mean, the fascination with Jared Bowen is really kind of fascinating because when Jared Bowen was named in that squad, I was under the assumption of he's not going to get any minutes. I mean, Gordon's ahead of him. Cole Palmer's definitely ahead of him. So the Bowen ahead of Palmer, I do not understand at all. John Stones. So Eze's in midfield. So Bowen's on the right, Watkins through the middle. There is Ollie Watkins. Oh, and that's a bit better. That's a bit better. He can spin out, run in behind. Again, that's the difference. Look at this. Look at this run. He can make that run. He bends it perfectly. He's onside. And it's a good save in the end from Kasper Schmeichel. Corner. Ball in. Well, forward to the edge of the box. Trippier. Gallagher. That's a shit pass. And look at this. Cobby would never. Cobby would never. That's what I'll say. Cobby would never. Well, I tell you what. I think Bowen's just... His ankle's just completely gone. Because of the pitch. And Cobby did media duty too, didn't he? He spoke to the journalists. Can't even get on as a sub. And the reason I think why is because we saw it in the last game. For whatever reason, Gareth's like, well, Cobby and Jude, they're interchangeable. Which is nonsense. Shoots. Pickford parries it out. Oof. You nasty. Book him. Book him.
So where's the code then? Where's the code?
Mailer's booked. Honestly, Cole Palmer and Cobby, particularly I think Cole Palmer, must be looking at people on the bench being like, really? Like, obviously, I'm sure they're all friends and whatever, but when he sees Jared Bowen coming on ahead of him, he must be like, all right, cool. Watkins won a corner. That I'm not opposed to that sub. I think that is the right sub. I think bringing on Watkins for Kane, I think that was the right call. Watch for the next game as well. If this is 1-1, it'll be like Southgate names a unchanged starting lineup again. It's going to be an unchanged one. Ugh. Ball in, headed away. We're heading into 75 minutes. Bowen has gone out for a throw-in. Throw into Denmark. Still 1-1. Do you know what? Whenever I talk to my father about England, and I talk to him, you think I'm negative on England. Whenever I talk to him about England before tournaments, he's very, very much like, well, England, they won't do anything. Quarterfinal, they'll lose, or they won't do very well. And I go, come on, Dad, believe. And now I realise it's just because every 2 years for his entire life, he's had to deal with this. And it wears you down. It really does. Every 2 years, you get this, and you go, is he giving a free kick? Ethan's been a member for 11 months. Says, being an American United fan, I always support England in Euros. Southgate is awful, and the idea United want him is terrifying. Yes. Red Baron says, shouldn't England be destroying Denmark? I don't know if it's a case of like destroying or anything like that, but they should be playing better. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily like, oh, it should be battering them 5-0, because Denmark are a good side. But it's like, you know, it's just like you should be able to pass the ball. You should be able to be the better team. And we're not. We're not the better team. It's really equal. If not, Denmark are the better team. And I don't know who said it earlier on. Let me know in the chat who it was. But the narrative after the game, I guarantee you, will be this player didn't play well or this didn't work. Like, they'll talk about how Trent played badly, but they won't bring up the fact of, well, why is Trent playing there? Why is Trent in midfield when he's a right back? They won't look at that angle. It'll just be that Trent wasn't very good or Harry Kane wasn't very good. That's what it will be. And it'll be like, well, who's picking the team? Whose tactical setup is that? I'll tell you what it is. It's criminal. It's gone out for a goal kick. Jordan Pickford takes the goal kick. It's going to go long. And headed all the way back to Schmeichel in goal. And I'll tell you what, another thing they'll do. They'll praise the subs. They'll praise that he brought in Scott. Well, I like that he was proactive in the game. They won't bring up the point that before the game, Micah Richards, you were praising him for sticking to his beliefs. I'm happy he's sticking to his beliefs until he abandoned them after 52 minutes because the beliefs were shit. It's like believing in the Tooth Fairy. Not real. And actually, you know what? Watching this game, I would say this is the perfect example why in international football, it's not about individual players. And this is why you shouldn't be trying to shoehorn them into the side. It's not about the quality of individual players. It's about the quality of the team and how well your team is coached. And that's what always lets England down. Is because we've got good quality players individually, but we're not a very good team because we're not well coached to be a good team. That's the problem. But it's all right, because when they turn up at St. George's Park, they're happy to be there. And they're high-fiving everyone. Criminal. And that's a throw-in. Oh. Lost the ball. Well, I tell you what, Denmark aren't happy. And my bloody pen stopped working too. Does this one work? Yeah, that one does work. Good. Gotta remember. Just had to write down breathe. Breathe, don't get too angry, Owen. Ten minutes left. And Denmark knocking the ball around nicely. We're going to see England do what they did again after they scored, which is just sit back. Sit back and do nothing. do something. Do something. The ideal scenario is England get a late goal and the press just hammer Gareth Southgate afterwards. If we score late, though, they won't. But obviously, I'd rather us win. Declan Rice. Ollie Watkins wins it back. Oh. Throw into England. Oh. 2 changes for Denmark. Christian Eriksen coming off. So both Man United players are off now. Højlund's off, and so is Eriksen. Of course, the scorer of the goal for Denmark. And to be honest with you, yeah, coming out of this game, legitimately, Denmark could be like, we were the better team. We deserve to win that. Any more late drama? Come on. Will there be a chance? I'm not even confident there'll be a chance. You know, like with other teams, you go, there might be a late chance. Oh, Declan Rice again. I mean, he's had a stink. A second half. He's how many times in the game has he misplaced pass or just a sloppy individual error from him? Oh, now Gahey's made a mistake. It's just calamitous. He's going to get across goal. He recovers well. Good recovery, Mark Gahey. That's better. It's a really poor mistake, but he's recovered. I'll give him credit for that.
Done okay.
But actually, he makes a mistake. But what pass did it come from again? Who passed him the ball there? It was Declan Rice again. A second half, he's had a stinker. An absolute stinker. As someone said in the chat, it's overcooked rice, stuck to the bottom of the pan. Corner ball. Oh, that's a chance. Chance 6 yards out and they managed to get it over the bar. Just rubbish. Get Cobby on. Because Declan Rice can't pass the ball. Oh, now Bellingham's giving it away. What's going on here? Gallagher, edge of the box. Shoots! It's just fizz past the... What, honestly, what is going on?
Absolutely disgraceful.
Højbjerg, look at... Gareth Southgate's pointing to your head. Look inside there. Look inside there. There's nothing there, Gareth. Brains. Get some. Everyone. They can't pass the ball. They can't do anything of it. No tactics. No clue. It's just absolutely shocking. Absolutely rubbish.
I've had enough.
And people can keep talking about runs to the final and statistics and stats.
I don't give a fuck about his stats.
Literally. Cobby's still on the bench. Cole Palmer's still on the bench. Denmark deserved to win. But you got the media going, oh, we're going to be favourites for this tournament. Rubbish. And also, this is a continuation. This isn't a massive decline from the first game. Make no mistake. They're going to try and play it out like, oh, England just massively dropped off from the first game to the second. They're worse than they were in that first game. But this isn't a massive drop-off. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. just against a better team, which is what we said. Serbia weren't all that. They're not all that. When you play a better team with better players and a better coach, like we're doing right now, you'll get shown up. This is the same. This is the same England. That in the first game, in all of these friendlies, in the nation leagues, all this kind of stuff. It is the same. It has always been the same. As someone says there in the chat, Fat Thor, imagine Italy, France, Germany or Spain. You'd be looking at holding 4 or 5. Red Baron says, Owen, the bigger teams won't be this lenient on us. Of course. And that's why I said why we're doing the Trent thing in the first place. We'll get away with it against lesser teams. Who do we think we are? He's brought on Conor Gallagher for Trent, who's just got booked and done nothing. Bring on Cobby that could actually pass the ball, no. Bring on Jared Bowen out wide instead of Cole Palmer, who got like 20 goals and like 20 assists or something ridiculous this season. Proper like hubba bubba substitutions, wasn't it? Flavour for maybe about 5 seconds. Oh, that worked. Oh no, it's gone. That was there. Nothing now. What's that? 2 and a bit minutes left of stoppage time. Maybe I'll make the media wake up and open their eyes. Instead of being like Daredevil in a basement, blind and in the dark, and not seeing anything. Because anyone with eyes or any kind of sense can see this with England. It's been coming. And then Pickford's gone short. Look, Cole Palmer's on the bench wondering what do I have to do. And Cobby. And Anthony Gordon. England disappoint and Gareth Southgate fails to inspire.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Eze. Oh, this is awful. This is awful. This is like Manchester United at their lowest point this season awful. I'm having flashbacks. I thought this was over. God, that's a foul, surely. Free kick. Are we going to go into the stoppage time? It was a clear foul on Eze. And again, they get away with it because England can't pass the ball. Oh. Honestly. And the thing is, as I mentioned before, I'm not surprised. The anger is not out of being surprised. The anger is out of being right. The anger is out of seeing the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And protection. And we'll see it after this. We'll still see more protection this evening. Get ready. Don't worry about that. I wonder if they'll ask Gareth after the game. Where's Gary and Alan to have the interview with Gareth after this one? And talk about why are England so shit? Why are England so rubbish? Gareth, do you think you're going to be in a job much longer? How many more games have you got left? Mate, I hope to see you. I hope to see you for the next game, yeah? That's what I hope. Maybe they'll do that one. Or is that not the pertinent time to ask questions? They're questions that everyone wants to ask, isn't it? Surely they'd be questions that, that were just being journalists. Just being journalists. Just journalistic integrity is what it is. Free kick. Pickford stands over it. Pickford. Yeah. Hooked away. Gallagher. Denmark win the ball. It's just pathetic, isn't it? It really is. It's not surprising. It's not shocking. It's just a reality. Again, that's a foul. But my prediction was right, wasn't it? For kickoff, I said I wouldn't be shocked if this one's 1-1. That was my prediction. 1-1. I could see it. Because I've seen Gareth Southgate manage England. It doesn't take a genius. It's not a leap. Pickford goes long. Knocked down. Bellingham. Eze. Denmark clear. 10 seconds left. Stones. Ball out wide to Kyle Walker. Stones. Move the ball forward. Oh, honestly. Just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Denmark won. England won. That's full time. And before the game, I predicted this. Before the game, I predicted it would be 1-1. And I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm just angry. Because it's the same. How many more years of this do we want to do? How many more times does this want to happen? I mean, Gareth Southgate picks the same 11 and we get the same kind of results. Guess what?
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Again. Every single time. And you know what? I have a bone to pick with. First of all, it's the media. Because the media have been blind to this, or they've been trying to ignore this for the longest time. Before that first game, everyone said, I don't know about that Trent Alexander-Arnold experiment midfield. I'm not really sure about that one. You then watched the game and it was blatantly obvious it wasn't working. And he took 70 minutes to do it. And you think, well, he's probably seen the light then, hasn't he? He's probably seen the light. And yeah, some people in the media maybe sort of go, I don't know if that worked. But then when it came out that he was picking the same team again, they all started backing it. Well, that's really good. I'm glad he's sticking to his conviction. Nobody bothered to call out that it wasn't working and it was a dumb thing to do to actually just name the same team again. Everyone said, I don't actually, Phil Foden off the left-hand side, that's not really working. Or Kieran Trippier, that whole left-hand side in general was just completely inverted because they're right-footed players playing on the left-hand side. I don't know about that. Oh, no, it was just blind praise. Let's just carry on with some blind praise. And then, suddenly, when things start going bad in this game, then suddenly they have the nerve to go, this isn't going very well. Why is this not going very well? I don't understand that. How is this not going very well? Well, it's very obvious why this is not going very well, because it's the same. It's been the same for years. It is impressionistic football, and by that I mean it's Gareth Southgate trying to do an impression of what he thinks Pep Guardiola does, which is, we've got to have the ball, so let's just pass the ball side to side. Let's just pass the ball side to side for a few times. That's what we'll do. And the nerve nerve, honestly, it's embarrassing that England, one of the tournament favourites, one of the teams with the best squads in this tournament, one of the favourites being backed by the media, being backed by pundits, being backed by ex-pros, go 1-0 up with a jammy goal. Let's face it, it's an error, 2 deflections, and Harry Kane puts it in. And then what? It's 20 minutes in, and Gareth Southgate parks the bus. Are you effing high? Really? Parking the bus with 70 minutes to go? It's not even at half time yet and he's doing that. It's just, again, it's embarrassing. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And when you mention it, when you talk about it, they say you're being negative or why are you being so downtrodden. They'll say it after this game, well, you are top of the group. You realise you're top of the group and that's what it's all about. But as we said, before that Serbia game, before the tournament started, when you play a good team, when you play against a half-decent coach, you will get found out. Before the Serbia game, we mentioned that. The Trent thing, it makes no sense. Why does it make no sense? Because you're going to change it anyway, but you can get away with it against the big teams. You can get away with it against big teams. Well, we can't even get away with it against Denmark. No disrespect, but we can't get away with it against Denmark. So why are we doing it? You've then on the bench got people like Kobe Mainoo can't get on the pitch. Cole Palmer can't get on the pitch, but Jared Bowen can. No disrespect to him, but if Cole Palmer can't get on the pitch now, when can he? When can he? It's just absolutely shocking, but not surprising. And that's my biggest point of frustration. That's my point of frustration. It's not that I'm shocked. It's not that I'm surprised. It's that actually I was right. And a lot of people are right because you see this coming over and over and over and over and over again. It's the same. It's the same. He tried to make a statement by playing the same starting 11 again, and the statement was just a blank page. Nothing on it. Nothing on it. No excitement, no nothing. And if anything, we got away with one because Denmark were the better team. The team that wearing the red shirts will come off and go, we deserve to win that game. We were unlucky. And it's just not good enough, but it's not surprising either. I'm not shocked. We'll be through to the next round. We'll get to the knockout stages. But those reservations that I mentioned before the tournament, I thought we'd get to quarterfinals because the moment we come up against a good team, if we play like that, which is, by the way, again, is not new. We played like that against Serbia. It just so happens Denmark are a bit better than Serbia. If we've been playing like that in those friendlies against Belgium, against Brazil, against Iceland, we've been playing like that in the Nations League when we didn't win a game for like 6 games in a row. It's not new. So when we play a good team, we'll lose. Like it's obvious. And if you want to blame conditions, Denmark played on the same pitch. They were fine with it. No problem for them. And as I mentioned at one point in the game, international football, it's not about having the best individual players. It's about having the best team and best coach team. And that's where England fails because we've got great individual players that we try and shoehorn into the team, which is why we've got the likes of Trent in midfield or Foden out wide. We've then got a coach that doesn't know what he's doing, and that leads to what you saw today. Just not good enough at all. It is rubbish. Absolutely terrible. But not surprising, like I said.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Every single time, honestly. Every single time. I think I'm caught up with the super chats. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, guys. Bottom right hand corner. It's just honestly, and the nerve of some of those pundits that remember they were going, well, Gareth Southgate, he's got the stature of a Manchester United manager. Are you taking the piss? Are you taking the piss? He's got the nerve of a Man United manager.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Quite literally. I mean...
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. But there you go. Click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to go for a lie down and try and breathe and wrap my arm on one of those blood pressure machines or something like that. Because that's what England does to you, honestly. Big up to everyone for joining in. I'm out of here. Peace.